Yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Chris Visit. This is my second video on the raft guide for beginners, and today we could talk about what to gather resources and on the island and around the islands on the waters. So let's jump to the world we left and load the game in, and then we see what we can find on the island of food and stuff like that. So let's take a look what we can find. Uh, what you need to do when we are loading in the game also that you need an axe and you need a shovel, uh, you need your hook. So, but the shovel you can craft a shovel because we don't have the tools for it and we haven't researched it. So stuff like that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to craft a, let's see, yeah, I got food and water on me. So well, last time I picked up some crates, and if you noticed in my bar in the middle down there, I see a small package I have in my hands. You can find those in the barrels and stuff like that on the sea, or some hidden treasures, stuff like that. And if you unpack it, you will learn some more crafting. You learn the notifications or something like that. That's what's something in the furnitures. You can see I can craft a chair, craft tables, craft shelves and stuff like that. And a calendar works and a clock. One thing you need to know that I forgot to say in the video number 1 is that when you're spawning, if you die and you spawn on your feet. So, but if you don't have a bed, you spawn only with a quarter of your health, so you don't have much water on you or anything else when you spawn without a bed. So if you have a bed, your water and your health will be more, or I think or half or something like that if you die and you spawn on your bed. So you have to remember, if you're spawning, you won't get a full water. If you die with a full water and die full food, so on, so you won't respawn with full health. So you have to notice that when you spawn, take a look if you need something to drink or eat before you go out again. So that's just one thing I forgot to tell you in the first video. So I hope that's helping my second here. Well, last time we talked about the grills and how that's working, and how you get waters for yourself. As you can see, I built a little bit more of my raft, and I built one more, so I have 2, so a little faster to get something to drink. What we need to the island, so if we go into look at this island we have here, and you got some flowers and stuff like that, the trees and so on this small island. There's some ones that are bigger, so what we need here is we need an axe for the tree. So let's go and try and see if we can craft an axe. An axe, 6 planks, 3 stones, 2 ropes. I told you in the video number 1 how you make ropes, and if you don't have stones, you can actually go down in the water, because there's stones in the water. Sometimes there's stones in the water, as you can see, all this stuff down here. So maybe you can find stones down here if you search for it, so you can get an axe. But first I will talk about the island. So now let's go and just craft the axe. The axe you use to pick the trees, and you get an icon when you can do it. So you see we got 1 plank, we got palm leaf, we got planks again, more planks. So that's what you get from the trees. You can get seeds as well and stuff like that. So, and you have flowers. You can pick up the flowers. Flowers you use to paint. You can make colors out of flowers. So this is a white flower, can be made into a paint. So if you pick up flowers, you can make paint, so you can paint your raft. So always good idea to pick up flowers and stuff like that if you want to make a lot of paint. And if you have a low on your inventory and you don't have much to have in your inventory, you really need to think if you need the flowers or not. You can have some seeds too. Seeds you can use to plant and water get flowers fits in small plot. So the seeds from the flowers you get when you get them too is to make flowers on your boats. Flowers you need to make honey in later on in the game, so I kind of pick them up to get the seeds and not the flowers and stuff like that. Because see, you can find some food here, watermelons. Always remember to look in your inventory if you have some space for it. If not, you just rub on the floor, as you can see I did here. So what I do now is I just pull out this flower so I can pick up the seeds, because the seeds are more important for me. So that way, so if we don't have any space for it, you see I keep on throwing down. So let's get out to the raft and let's see where we got our raft somewhere. Right here, yay, we found it. Oh, it's getting dark. Look at the skies. Look, really amazing. The birds in the skies too. You can shoot them down, so you can get feathers and stuff like that. Yeah, and the moon. It's the blue moon. Yeah, the blue moon is on the rise. So, well, let's go and see. You need to craft some stories. If you go number 2 under the food, you can craft some stories. Stories, that's the small stories. You can get small stories, medium stories, and large stories. So you have to learn all the stuff before you crafting and so on. So we need to craft some stories, and 8 plastic, 1 scrap, 2 ropes. So and I don't have to. I think get rid of this flower. So we need some stories, and put some stories on your raft so you have some place you can put your stuff in. So you can have some more space. What's most important is that we need some more scrap, we need some more plastic. So what we can do this is you can go down in the bottom and see if we can get some more or scrap, because you got scrap on the water. Let's see. You can have 20 pieces in your inventory. So when it's 20 of each, you can have any more. So, but let's try and take a look down here. We need some scrap and we need plastic for another stories. So that's important. You have some stories on your boat before you go to our islands too. So, but as I told you on the islands, if you go up the trees and stuff like that, and you can search it, see what else there is here on the islands. You can find some treasures too. Let's pick this up. Let's take a look. There's nothing more here on the island. We can just take the tree because we need the wood. So search the islands and take what you can, and be careful what you actually need, because you need food and stuff like that. So if you don't need the flowers right now, you can always get those later on in the game. So you don't need those in the raft right away. So that was the island. Find some resources, cut trees, bananas, coconuts, and stuff like that, mangoes. You can eat. That's what we're trying. When we take a look at the plot to oceans, we can try. You can hear the raft. Well, oh, a shark! Let's get away. No, got the east. Well, you see all the clothing, that's something you can pick up. You need your hook for it. You just go down there and just keep on hacking your mouse or what else you use. You see, we got sand. Sand is being used, and we got clay. You need clay. You need more clay and stuff like that. So just keep on and try and get as much as you can, but keep on watching on your bar on the top that your breathing is you don't run out of air in your ground. So and you get further down, you have to remember how much air you have so you can get up and get some air. Because the longer down, longer it is to get up. So let's take a look what we have here. This is clay, and what we need is scrap. We need more scrap than we need clay right now, so let's get some more scrap. There, more scrap. Amazing how much scraps you can find on bottom of the seas, and people really. There was a pipe for a car or something like that. I don't know if they're driving a car on a small island or anything. Well, I don't have much space here, so I have to see what I need. That flower. I keep the C because the CC really needs early later on in the game, that's difficult to find sometimes, so I always keep the C. That's up to you what you need, what you have to get off, because you have to pick up the big storage. You need some plastic for more storage. So as you watch my computer from the back, remember what's shot. What's well, I didn't get the plat because I need the plat for no stories. So just have to make some stories, stuff like that, so you have something you can keep doing the wall and stuff like that. So, now we need the... I still need some plastic. I got some plastic power in it again. So air sucking. Oh, now we can start. Still what we can. One thing that is you have to remember, if you want to craft something, you have to put the stuff you need for a craft into your inventory. You don't have to get them to down inventory, you just need to have them in your inventory before you can craft something. So that's one thing you can do it. Some say, oh, if you need some wood, you can just right click on it and you get one piece. If you just left click it, you get all of them. So that's one way you can do it. Just right click on it and you can get one piece at a time. So if you only need one metal or something like that, like this, so you only get one. So that way you can craft it and your inventory is empty. So that's just a little tip on how you can do it. But what we do is that the next one is if you want to craft something, you have to learn to craft something. And how to learn it, you need the table that the research table. The research table is where you put your stuff and you can research, and then you can learn new stuff, new equipment and stuff you have to use, like the shovel and stuff like that. So early in the game, you really need to craft your research table after you have crafted your waters and supplies, so you can get something to eat, so you can get bigger stuff to. So now we need to learn to craft here. So we need 14 planks and we need scrap. We need 2. So let's take a look here. We got 20 planks right here. Just take it, and we need 2 scrap. Then you can just use the right button, so you don't have to. So craft this table here. So let's take this one. I think I'll just put it right here. What you do is that you take each piece you have put in your inventory, one wood, one piece of everything, and that's one way to do it. You can do it in another way, stuff like that. So let's take a look here. Not everything you can research. Something you can research, something you can't research. So the good thing is to learn the game and try and take as much as you can and research as much as you can. When you got this, you can go to your research table. You just drag something over and you start on the seed. You can see research is red, so we can research this one. We can research rope, and then you can research something. Now you learn something. In this, you can see what you need. You need to research stones and you need to express powders and screws and stuff like that. So that's something you need. But when you do something and you research it, that object will disappear. I only got one, so now I research this one. So that's the way you learn new stuff. Just research every time you get some new stuff. Research it. When you research, you see I research clay right now, so now I get a clay bottle. So then you just push the learn button. Now you can craft this one. As you see now on the food, you can craft it, and that costs you 2 clay to craft one. I think it's 1. I don't remember. We see on that next time. So and then you can craft the stone. See what we can do with this one. We can craft metals. You see now we got a medium craft plot where you can use to your seeds. So now you can take melons and use that. So you have to learn that. You have some lights that turn, so you can have some lights on. You can learn the bucket. You learn how to paint. So if you go up and take sand, and sand you can learn sand. So we take plastic. We just now we got stone arrows. So this way is one way you can do it. So research everything you pick up, because if you don't pick it up and you don't research it, you won't learn anymore. So don't wait till later in the game, because you can't remember everything anyway. So research as soon as you can. It's just some advice I have. So let me see what we have here. Try and keep up here. See you don't have a lot of slots free, because you can always stack them to 20 pieces. So that's one way you have to do it. Learn all the stuff and learn new stuff, so you can craft those. Now we can craft those things too here. So now you can craft one is 6 planks and rope 4. So if we don't need to craft it, you're going to see we need 6 planks, 5, 6. We need some ropes. Ropes, how many? 4. Well, just take 5. So now we have something we can use here. Now we can get our own craft here. So we do. So if we have potatoes, we don't have potatoes. No. Oh, I need water. Now you see you get sick and stuff like that, and coughing because you need something. So let's remind you that you need to eat or doing something. So let's make some more water here. Okay. Well, let's take a look here. We got, what do we have? We have some seeds. Oh, see the flowers. We don't need flowers, we need food. So what we can do is that we have this one, watermelon seeds. You just put this one and drag them down to your hot bar down there, and then you can try and nope, the seeds, but we can't plant the seeds for it. So what we have to do, let you grow plants. So let's now you grow bigger plants. Well, well, we can do this one. So I have a melon, so we can eat it. Never put food back on the plate again. So over here. Oh. So that's how this table. So now let's go down to the bottom and see what we have in the bottom of here. We got clay and sand. Let's take some sand and see what we can get down here in the bottom. You need sand, you need clay, you need a lot of it. And I mean a lot. Because what you can find at the bottom is clay and sand. You can find glue. So you need to research too. So we go and get everything we can down here. Oh, I'm about drowning. Now you can see I'm about drowning. You can see on my health bar. It's get wet, so you see the stuff right here on the walls. Remember the walls? That's copper. You need copper to do something. You need to research copper too. And I believe this is iron. Yeah, iron ores. Oh, it's broke. It broke. Oh, let me see. You got something here. Sea wheels. Okay. So let's get back up to our raft. Well, everything you to pick out, try and see if you can research it. This one you can research it because you have to melt it first. And the same is with the stone, you can research stone. So as research, you have this one right here. Seaweed, you can research seaweeds that you're used to in the melter too. So you need that used for when you melt it. You get glue from it. So and glue you need to crush some other stuff. So let's take a look here. What do we have? No space. Okay. Now let's take the sand and the clay. Because what I was thinking about right now is that we need to craft wet bricks. We need wet bricks so we can try and get a melter so you can melt your iron and your copper and titaniums and other stuff you can melt so you have some materials to craft for or something. You can make a shovel and stuff like that. So what we do is we craft in the wet brick. When you craft on wet brick, craft as many as possible. I believe you need eight. So when you have crafted the bricks, you just put them down on the floor. So you need clay and you need sand to make wet bricks. Then you put them on the floor so they dry. Then you get a dry brick. So that's one thing to do it. Let's try and make a new hook. I can make a new hook. We need some planks. Got 2 planks. We need plastic. I only got 2, so that's not much. So it's kind of dark, so it's hard to see down there. So let's go try. So go for the clay and go for the sand and see if you can craft something, because the more you have to craft, the more space you have in your inventory, so you don't have to do so much for it. So that's true. Yo, shark, is eating me. Shark meat is a great thing to eat. So let's go back here to the wet bricks. Oh, we need clay still. So go down and get some more clay. Yeah, well, still got the clay down here. The wet ones. Pick up a brick. Let's take a look here. Because now we have to take that. Now it's a dry brick. We made wet brick to dry bricks. So dry bricks you need to use to melters, so you can craft melters, but you need to research the dry brick first. So just go to your research tables and drag one dry brick up here and research it. You will see we need nails. So how do we get nails? Well, you can go over to your crafting and you can see here nails is 2 scraps, so that's why we can go and get 2 scraps right here. 2 scraps, 2 scraps and 1 nail. So now go and get the nail we have now and research this one too. So and research. Now we learn something more. Learn something about smart traffic, sim collection net. We use collection nets on the fleet to gather the stuff that's floating in the sea. So, but that's coming to another thing. So there you got the smelter. We need the smelter, so now we can craft that too. So now we just go and see the brick right here, and let's take a look and see. I think we need 8 for it. It's under the storage. You got the melter here, and we got 4 planks. We need 6 dry bricks, 4 scraps and nails. So we need 6 nails. We need 4 more nails. We need some scrap. So let's try and take a look what we have here. What do we need? Planks. Planks we need 4, so we can take 4 planks right here. So nails, we need to get 6 nails. I've got 8 nails, so that's okay. That's fine. So now we need some more scraps, so I have to see if we have some scraps. We don't have any more scraps in here, so we have to go to the bottom and see if we can get some scraps. So we have it. Hurry up. So we just need some scrap so we can build. Well, you can buy shells down here. You can make food, stuff like that too. I believe I found someone down here somewhere. Yeah, there. Oh, I need to get up and get some air so I don't drown. It's scary. Well, if that was easy, you will try and attack me. So be aware for the shark if you don't play on the peaceful stuff I did right here. Now let's take a look. Yeah, you can craft the milk now. So this one is really important for your future. You just place it, and if you go and see what we have here, we got the irons, we got this one, we got this one. So, and we got some firewood. We need to put firewood in it. So just put some planks under it, put the metal right on top of it. So now we're melting iron, and then you get iron bars from it. What you can melt in it is the the copper, you can melt the seaweeds. Seaweeds, when you melt it, you get glue, and you can make irons. You can get some titanium ore. You find this real later in the game. You got metal detectors, blueprints. You can craft the metal detectors, and you can find treasures, and you can find titanium scraps. So you can melt those to titanium. So that way you learn some more. So now it's just waiting for this one to craft, so we can get something. Always remember you have enough of wood on you, so you need some planks. So you always keep going. It really takes a lot of planks, so you need a lot of wood. So just have that in your mind when you're doing it. So when you have crafted one metal bar and one copper bars and one titanium bar, you go to your research tables and research the stuff you have melting. Just one of them, as I told before. Now you can see I just got one right there, so now we just down and put this one down here. Then we get this one, get more planks. Go to the tables and drag your metal iron and research. Now you can see you got the hank and you got the screws. You got the grill. It's a big grill you can now make, so now you can learn something more. So the big grill is really great on the foods. You got a big grill, but the big grill takes 6 nails, ropes 2, metal ingots 2, and planks 6. So big grills is always better than the small ones. So if you can get it as soon as possible, it's the best way to do it. One way is that the big grill, you can catch real large fish if you're going to fishing and make a fish pole, but they don't fit on the small grill, so you need the big grills for that. So that's up to you how you will play it. You can take more of the smalls or not, that's up to you. But research every time you do it, so you learn something more. You did learn something about the big grills now, and you learned about semi collections. Now we got bow and arrow. We don't have the bow yet. And fishing ropes. Now you can craft the hinkles and you can craft the bolts. When you craft those two things, you have to go to your research table and research one more time to unlock even more stuff that you can craft. So anchors, remember anchors when you start. Always have a couple of anchors when you get to some place. You can craft a paddle, so you can use that to paddle your way closer to an island or something like that. And you got tables. You got a painter. A painter is where you put your flowers and you can paint stuff. And you got seating, furniture, lines, stuff like that. So that's only decorative stuff you have. So, but as I told you in the first game, you need a bed for it when you're respawning. But you still respawn on your raft. But if you have a bed, you respawn with more health. So that's up to you if you want to use the resource for it early in the game or later. That's up to you. So now we got this, and that's the copper, I think, yeah. So go and research this one too. Now we learned battery. Now we can make batteries too. So learn that, you need this. So now we go back here and see what we can put on. So every time you take something new and you say, oh, I haven't researched this one, then research. Maybe there's something, maybe there's not anything. But it's better to be sure than not to research it and later find out, oh, I haven't researched that part. So that was about the island and about the sea. If you want to find the copper, the iron, you have to look on the side in the sea. Because here you see there's some more clay, we just did that. So what I do when I search is that I just go a bit back up if I need some air and just look around if I can see something on the side, because there where you find the copper and the iron ores. Go all the way out because they can't be all the way, so don't just search just close to an area, just all the way around, because they can be all the way down there if they should be. See, it's really deep right here. Just search the walls and stuff like that. You should see the ores somewhere. I don't believe there's something around here. I haven't seen yet. So let's take a look. So when you go deep, so just still remember your breath and your air, how much you have. Yeah, you see right here, you get, this is copper, copper ore. You just have to hack it and melt it, and you melt a lot there. So your raft, and the same is with the iron. You find the iron down here too, on the walls. Here you find this sea reef that make clues, so you can glue stuff together. Still try to take a look. I'm about to die. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Yeah. So, get down here. So you find everything down here. Just take a look at this way. You're almost at the raft again. You see there are two down there too. I think that was copper. Yes, go down and take it. Take everything you can. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not. Something down here can be used to food. I think I saw seashells down here somewhere. I don't remember where it was. See, there are a lot of stuff down here to take, so just make sure to search every inch of the island, take everything you can, because you're going to need it, especially in the early in the game, and craft as much as you can to make sure you have food enough for the islands too, or make a fish pole so you can get something there too. Yeah, we got shells here. This one. You make this to cooking, make food of it, and when you research it, you can make something else out of it too. So that's done. So if you go and research the shells, you have to research, then you can get some feathers. You can get a nest, a bird nest. You can craft that. Now you see, I just melted the seaweed, and it will look like this. So now it's wine good. Wine good is a kind of clue. You need to research this one too. Now you can make bottles and secure boards. You can make flippers when you're swimming. So that's one way. You can learn stuff too. So what they are saying, yeah. And if you're going to see on the on the storage, you got a bird nest. The bird nest is a giant's claim. I don't have this one, so when you put this one on your raft, the seahorse will go and lay down, and they put some feathers on it. So that's where you're collecting feathers too. So let me see if I can get some so I can show you. Let's see. try to craft one of this one. So now we got a bird nest. You can just place it right there and see if there comes a bird down here and make a nest. Well, now we have been talking about the water tank, how to make water. We are talking about the small grills. We have been talking in the first video about the anchor of a bucket and stones. We have talked about how you can craft potatoes, stuff like that. If you want to use potatoes, if you have some potatoes, just put them in this and put some fresh water or seawater in it. Don't fresh water you need to drink, so spare it. Just use the water from the sea. You can always take your cup and go from the sea and grab and pour it on it. And we have been talking about the search tables. Search everything you pick up. Go in and you can see what you need to search. You can see in the bar here you got the cooking pot. You can research it by the screws if you have a screw. So research everything you have, and that way you can unlock all the stuff. So that's one way to do it. If you should be stuck on the island, you could try to make a fish pole so you can get some fish. That's one way to do it. Let's put something up here so we have. Oh. So we have been talking about the smelter that smelts the copper, the iron and stuff like that. So I hope this one helps you out and stuff like that. And you see we have a feather here. Now we have a feathers. Yeah, that's what I want to show you here in the last part of the part 2 about the feathers. You can go and see of the feathers. You have to research everything again. I can't say it enough. Research and see what you learn about it. Now you learn metal arrows. You learn a paintbrush. Now you learn a hammock so you can sleep in. So now you learn more stuff. So that's how you can learn that stuff. So now I hope my videos that could help you a little further to your raft and how to craft and make the iron ores and stuff like that. So subscribe my channel and give me a like. If you have any comments, set it below and I will answer. If I can, I will answer all your questions. And I hope you like my video, and take care and watch for the shark when you go too easy.